It's Nick with Adventure 406. Today we're going to pull the rear end out of this e34. You may have asked yourself, what does this guy know about BMWs? Let me tell you. I went to school for 18 months to become a BMW factory certified technician. Then I worked at a dealership for 2.5 years, in which I got diesel certified, and then I worked at an independent shop for 2.5 years. On top of that, I've always owned a BMW. I learned to drive on a BMW. It started with an E30 and it's going to end with an E30. With that being said, let's get into this. Alright, step one in taking the rear subframe off is removing the exhaust. Now that that's done, you can pop the drive shaft off of the differential, unbolt some stuff, and let the whole thing down. I started to drain the brake fluid from the back here. That way, when I disconnect the lines, it's not going to spill everywhere. Alright, just got those 6 nuts busted off, and then we're just going to move the drive shaft back away from the diff. Okay, now I'm going to remove the rear struts. I'm going to start by popping these 2 big bolts off on the bottom, and then I'm going to remove the rear parcel shelf, which will allow me to remove the rear D-pillar trims. Once those are out, I'll have access to the 4 screws that hold the top plate of the speaker on. Once I get that out, then I can remove the bracket that holds the foam on the side there, and then once I get that out, I can remove the speaker, which gives me access to the screws that hold the speaker bracket in. Once I have those out, then I can access the 3 screws that hold the top of the strut in. Whew! Even though one of them rolled away from me, we now have 2 struts on the ground, and the next step after that is to pop the brake lines loose. Okay, the next step is to grab this connector here. That's the wheel speed sensor connector underneath the back seat. We're going to unplug it. Then we're going to crawl on the ground here underneath the car, find out where it's coming out of the body, and then grab a corner and just pop it out. Ta-da! So, back here by the fender liner, there's 1 big nut, then 2 little bolts on each side, and then there's 1 big bolt holding the back of the diff in. So we just gotta bust those off, and then she's coming down. It was at that point Nick knew. He messed up. So it's important to note here that your e-brake lines are attached with some brackets to your rear subframe and your trailing arms, and it's important to take your parking brake assemblies off and pop those rear brake lines out. Once you do that, then all you got to do is just wiggle that bad boy out. Cool, the rear axle's on the ground now. We just got to get everything cleaned up and taken apart. You guys stay adventurous out there, and I'll see you next time.